Hello, good morning. Good morning, continuous liners. Muy buenos dias, continuous liners. How are we all doing today on this chilly Thursday morning, December 14th? I mean, I don't know if it's chilly where you're at, but I'm guessing, good part of the world, well, the northern world, is chilly, right? It's winter. It's winterish. We're moving into the winter solstice, and it is quite chilly here in central Mexico. A lot of people come to Mexico. You can always tell when, Americans first arrive in San Miguel and stuff like that because they show up in shorts and T-shirts. And Mexicans and people who have lived here, we've got layers and layers of jackets and mittens and scarves because we know there's no central heat here in Mexico. So even if it starts to warm up, houses can stay cold. That's your weather report for this Thursday morning. Hi, how's everyone doing? So yeah, we're halfway through the Coffee Sketch 2023, and you know what? This is when it starts to get hard. This is when people fall out. You know why? Because it's hard. It's hard to commit to a daily drawing challenge, right? I mean, hard is a relative word. It's not there are people who are experiencing hard challenges right now. There's war, there's homelessness, there's all kinds of social problems, there's turbulent problems, there's there's all kinds of problems. There always has been, right? It seems to be a little louder right now. But anyways, so to say that it's hard to do a drawing challenge is a little privileged, right? And but the thing is, and I'm not going to go too far into that because I don't want anyone to feel bad about feeling like it's hard to do a drawing challenge. It can just push your creativity buttons, right? Like, I'm out of ideas. I am out of ideas. And, I get that too. Last night, it was one of those things where I had such a busy day that all of a sudden it was the end of the day and I was like, I haven't done my coffee sketch yet, right? So I did that in the evening as I was ready to go to bed, and I was freezing, and I spent 2 minutes on it. See, I've got someone standing here in front of me. Lo siento, no puedo ahora, okay? I can't read. He's got a whole thing, and I can't read it. I'll catch him later. See, that's hard. That's hard. This gentleman is standing in front of people, asking. He had a big sign and I couldn't read it. It's really small, but that's not easy. Cry about, I can't draw my coffee cup today. No, that's hard. For a man to have to stand in front of people and ask for money, I mean, maybe it's not hard for every person, but I would guess, generally speaking, that is a hard thing to do, right? These are hard times for a lot of people. And so to say a drawing challenge is hard, it's a different kind of challenge, right? And we are very lucky to be able to, to participate in something like that pushes our creativity. Now it gets into the whole thing of being able to sustain your creativity may help you function a little bit easier in the world, right? And again, a little privileged, but hear me out. By tending to your creative spirit, you may be able to maneuver your life with a little bit more ease, right? Speaking for myself, my younger years when I was not in alignment with what I was supposed to be doing or what my heart wanted to be doing. I don't think there's anyone who hasn't spent years of their life working for someone they didn't like, or just having a job to try to stay afloat, to take care of things, right? I think we've all had to do our time there, right? And so we are the lucky ones who are able to find our thing, right? Growing up, I had a very conflicting relationship with my father. I didn't really like him. And I'm not even going to go into that, but one of the things that my dad always loved what he did. It took him a while to find it, but he loved what he did, right? And I used to look at him and go, that son of a bitch. How did he find his thing, right? Now, the thing about that is that his thing, and this was a great source of embarrassment for me as a child, he cleaned sewers. Yeah, he was like, who was that, Art Carney? That's going way back, right? Well, that's what my dad used to call himself, right? Because he is in the city of Chicago. He was on the south side. He cleaned sewers, man, and he loved it. He talked about it. That's what he did on weekends for fun, right? Like, this was his thing. And even when he retired and he and his wife moved out to Arizona, he did it in his retirement. I mean, honestly, he did it until the day he died. And I was a little like, because he was kind of a jerk, right? We made our peace. I'm sure I've been a jerk too. Anyways, I'm going to start doing some lines here, right? I'm going to start doing some continuous lines, yeah? So my dad, who I thought, in my mind at many times I thought, well, he doesn't really deserve to find his happiness because he's kind of a jerk. Well, who am I to judge that, right? He is a man that found, I think he was like in his 40s when he found that. And he loved cleaning sewers and talked about it until the day he died, right? Dropped dead of a heart attack at like 66. And now that I'm older and I have found my thing, I have much greater respect for him and a greater understanding, right? With time comes understanding and a little bit more grace, right? Like when I talk about having grace, my dad I had to have grace for, right? And now that it took me until the age of about 48 when I found my shtick of drawing and teaching and workshops and, just like, I found my thing. It took a lifetime, right? It takes what it takes, right? And now I have a much greater understanding and appreciation for my dad's path in life. It wasn't easy for him at all. And, and for my own, I had to work jobs I didn't like and work for people I didn't like and learn skill. I worked in a typing department at a law firm in Chicago, and I hated it to death. I wore headphones and I typed depositions all day, and I smoked cigarettes. Like everyone else, it was a department full of 12 girls, and we all smoked really long cigarettes with the headphones on and the Loop FM radio on, so it was hard to hear with Jonathan Brandmeier, and then you had to hear these really boring depositions of people getting run over by buses. I mean, some of them were kind of exciting. Okay, so I feel like that was the worst job I had. Well, it wasn't the worst job. I had some brutal ones, but I hated that job just because I had to sit at a desk all day. But honestly, that job is still, I mean, I'm not a great typist, right? But that job, I could type. And my mom was always like, because I didn't type well in high school. We didn't have texting devices, right? And my mom was like, you need to go to secretarial school, and so you need to practice your typing. And I was like, shoot me now. Shoot me now. She literally wanted me to go to secretarial school in Southern Illinois, down by St. Louis. And I was like, because she thought that was the right path for me. And I was already doing administrative work, and I was like, well, not in high school. High school, I was working at Walgreens. But, just those conversations with my mother, she really thought secretarial school was the best thing for me. And, I don't think so. However, just to clarify, I mean no disrespect to administrative positions or people who do that sort of work, because it is vitally important to every business and to the world. It's vitally important to the world, right? To know how to type, to know how to, well, now it's like texting, to know how to manage books, to know how to do Excel spreadsheets, to know how to run an office, right? So highly, I could see why my mom just wanted me not to starve. And I haven't, right? And I had to work some administrative positions. My jacket's getting caught here. You see the pretty Christmas tree behind me? I'm here in Guanajuato, right? And I've got so many layers on, I can't even draw. Let me see if I can do that. There we go. Yeah, I'm all bundled up. It's cold here, right? So while I kind of shiver thinking about that job that I hated, it also was like many of the other ones I didn't like, it taught me lots of good skills. Good skills for running a business and for being, I was never really a good employee. I was always I was an employee for many years, but I was never a good employee because honestly I didn't like people telling me what to do. Some things never change, right? I mean, and to work in the corporate environment, you gotta fall in. You gotta fall in, right? And I played the game, but boy did I hate it. Boy did I hate it. I hated that whole game, right? So it took me until after my mom's death to find the thing, because when she said to me, "I wish I had been nicer to you," it changed my whole deal. I'm gonna break for a little sip of my coffee. So, a lifetime takes what it takes, right? I remember Carolyn Mace, who I'm a big fan of. I've listened to a lot of her things. I've taken courses. I actually even met her. She was my neighbor in Oak Park, Illinois. She liked my dog. I don't think she liked me, but she liked my dog. And she said a lot of things, but one thing that really has stuck with me is she said, we are not guaranteed a life free from nuclear disaster. And I remember hearing that again when the pandemic hit, right? The pandemic, was that not the freakiest time in the world for many of us in our lives, I guess? To just be told you have to stay home indefinitely, and we've got this virus coming down the pike. And I mean, was that not surreal, right? And so, I think as Americans especially, we've been quite gifted with a somewhat of an easier life, right? That doesn't mean life is easy, but there's been just life in America, while tough for many people, and it's not easy, right? There were certain things that did make it easy for some to move ahead, right? I don't want to even get into the whole race thing because that's a huge thing, right? I'm not trying to deny it, but I'm just not getting into it right now, right? So, even though life was tough and there were challenges and blah, 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 and I was, just trying to survive and make a living, it was a pretty, easy world, más o menos, to grow up in America, right? And so when this whole pandemic thing, stay in your house, stay in the bunker for indefinitely, and we might all die from this virus, and then the whole thing of misinformation, disinformation of everything. Oh, now you might die of the vaccine too, right? So there's just been so much misinformation and agendas around that, right? So very, very, very stressful. And so I remember, I am not guaranteed a life free of nuclear disaster, which for me was that whole pandemic thing, right? How that just changed, that just changed everything. It changed everything. Even if you didn't get sick, even if you didn't lose your way, it changed everything, right? I got sick and I almost died, and that changed everything, right? That changed everything for me. So, but it also brought into focus the thing that I wanted to do, and that was draw. I want to draw. And that doesn't mean life's easy, right? Oh, isn't that cute? She's that one that does those cute little drawings. Oh, yeah, I know you. You do those cute little drawings, right? Yeah, I do those cute little drawings, right? But here's the thing. So I love doing the cute little drawings, but I also was I need to build a world around this. How can I have this? It's a fine line, because sometimes when you make something your career, you grow to hate it, right? And it certainly has had its challenges of having to deal with insane people who come to workshops, like anti-vaxxers who think that they are owed everything. Anti-vaxxers, don't get me started. When you have to deal with people, and especially in this day and age when people are really, there's a lot of grief and there's a lot of stress from the condition of the world, and that gets played out in every day, right? And so to have a job that where you have to cater to people, and what job doesn't cater to people? Well, I suppose some cater to machines, right? But anyways, there's always going to be a human element, even though it's changed drastically in the past few years. It's challenging to deal with the idiosyncrasies of people, especially in this fast-changing, stressful world, right? Stressful for me too. I got super sick, and I don't want to deal with idiot anti-vaxxers who think their opinions are more important than everyone else or their beliefs, right? I don't want to deal with jerks like that. And there's a lot of jerks out there. There's a lot of lovely, lovely, lovely people too. And a lot of these lovely people are in my drawing circles. And the jerks are not. So anyways, it's like, I can't just not work. I have to work, right? So what am I going to do? I don't know. Right now I'm just building a drawing community, and I've got some workshops, but I don't know what the future holds for that, right? I don't know what the future holds for that. I kind of want to see what this year is a rocky road. The 2023 was a rocky road for, the whole deal, right? So anyways, what am I trying to say here? I'm saying that the thing I love to do and the thing I will continue to do is the thing I'm doing right now. Right now. I am drawing, and I'm drawing with my community, Masumninis. I mean, from the outside eye, it looks like I'm an insane person sitting at a table by herself, having there's a guy up there in a hotel looking at me going, what the hell is she doing? I mean, it's not like he's going to wreck his day, but I could see he's looking at me going, oh my God, there's one of those people. So I'm just not going to look at him. But my phone is angled. Okay, went inside. So, okay, the thing I love to do, even though some people look at me and go, oh my God, she's so ridiculous, right? It's the thing I love to do. It's very exciting for me to be on location and draw things. It's exciting for me to draw my coffee cups. It's exciting for me to do selfies, right? I'm having a lot of fun with the whole selfie thing. It's hard. I mean, some selfies I look like a monster and I look horrible, and other selfies I'm like, hey, I'm kind of cute. And I don't care. It's just part of the process, right? I'm not going to hide my ugly drawings. Do I hide I'm sure I have at some point, but I don't do that on purpose because I think it's important to show the good and the bad, right? It's part of the process, right? So I understand if you're doing the coffee cup challenge that you may be hitting a wall a bit, like, ooh, I'm out of ideas, I don't know what to do. It's totally fine. It's totally normal. Here, let me show you. Here, this is a good one. When I'm totally don't know, and when I'm out of ideas, I do stuff like this, right? These are cute little Mexican cups from the Lotus Il Dago, and I think I started here. I think I started here, and I just went around and drew my coffee cups, right? That's a coffee cup challenge, right? You don't always have to have the perfect urban sketching set up. Believe me, my mind tells me I should, right? Or it's got to be cuter, or I got to be cuter, or everything's got to compositionally make sense. That's where the thing of when you start to when you do it a lot, you get all the rules in your head, right? There's something really beautiful about the beginner's mind, right? When you're not all full of rules and ego, right? Because after you've been doing it for a while, your ego goes, well, you can't do a bad drawing. You're teaching now. Or you've sold a painting. You can't do a bad drawing, right? Happens to the best of us. And the worst of us, too. I'm sure even anti-vaxxers have bad. All right, I'll lay off the anti-vaxxers. So, yeah, today I'm doing my Zoom class after this, and then tonight I'm hosting a drink and draw at a rooftop terraza here in Guanajuato, and it's cold here in Guanajuato, and I'm already preparing that no one's going to show up. People don't really know me in this town. Even if they do, they're not like, oh, I got to go out in the cold and sit with Meagan and draw. Now, if you were me, I would go sit with me and draw because it's cool to draw with me, as many of you know. I make it fun. I really do. I try to, right? But that's okay if nobody shows up. Nobody shows up. It's cold. It's winter. It's dark. But you know what? There's like meteor showers tonight, and we'll be perfectly positioned to see sky magic. I mean, that's one thing about Guanajuato. There's plenty of sky magic, right? So let's see. I'm going to finish big with a heart because I got to move on. I got to move on. I got to start my day. Well, my day has started, but I got to carry on to the next thing, which is my Zoom class where we're going to be drawing online. Next Monday, we're having a Zoom Christmas party for our drawing class, so I'm pretty excited about that. We get to dress up and bring cocktails. It's not required, but you know, it's kind of fun. I mean, these are strange days, right? We want to think, oh, Zoom is over. No, it isn't. Keep Zoom close by, right? Do things in person, but also have Zoom close by, or whatever your online thing is, right? All right, here's my deal. Finishing big with some upside down hearts because the world is upside down. Sometimes my thoughts are upside down, and sometimes people are upside down, but you just go easy on yourself and go easy on others, right? Here we go. There you go. Do your lines to build, to figure things out, to push through your drawing fears, to comprehend composition, to build confidence, right? Because the more you do this kind of stuff, the more you do this kind of stuff, the more you play. Like here's Mr. Potato Head, continuous pattern making Mr. Potato Head. The more you do that kind of stuff, the more fun you'll have with your drawing, right? And then, I don't know, it may not be important to you, but I think if you're in this group, it's probably a little bit important to you, right? So do the thing that's important to you. Do the thing that makes your heart sing, okay? All right, everyone, have a good day. I'll see you next time. We're middle of the challenge of Coffee Sketch 2023. It's hard, but not hard like war hard. It's pushes your creativity buttons, so keep on going, all right? All right, everyone, have a good day. Bye.